What's good, everyone? Mr. Octagonal here from Octagonal Gaming. Now, we're going to be starting a new series with the NFL season starting up today. Yay! We've had college football, so college football's back, and now NFL's back, so massive, massive W's. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking every game. So we're not just going to be picking every game. It's going to come with a twist. We're going to be doing this every week, and we're going to get points. Ranked 1 through, let's just say, 15 this week because the Bucs and Dolphins game is canceled because of a hurricane. Prayers for anyone affected by the hurricane. But anyway, each game will be ranked 1 to 15. So my one game, let's just say we have the Giants and the Packers. I know they're not playing, but for example, we have the Giants and the Packers, and I think the Packers are going to win, but I'm not too confident. I pick them with a 1. The Jets and the Panthers, which they're not playing either. I'm really confident that the Jets are going to win, like super confident, then I give them a 15. And if, let's say, the Jets win, I get a 15. If the Panthers win, I get a 0. If the Packers win, I get 1. If the Giants win, I get 0. Those are just examples. I'm never picking the Jets with a 15. I'll probably pick against them with a 15. So if that doesn't make sense, you can just ask me in the comments below. And hopefully we get a lot of points. So, yeah, let's go to our number 1 point game. My 1 point game is the Raiders and the Titans, so I'm picking the Titans to win. However, I'm not so confident, so I'm only giving it a 1. Now, these are two teams I'm very high on. I have the Raiders getting the 2 seed, and I have the Titans winning their division. So these are two teams that I absolutely love going into the season. I know Carr and Mariota both got hurt week 16 of last year. That ruined the Raiders' chances to do anything in the playoffs, and that ruined the chances for the Titans to make the playoffs. Now, these are two very good offenses. I expect it to be high scoring. Neither defense is that bad. These are the 2 best offensive lines in the NFL, other than the Cowboys. They have solid running backs. Well, we haven't seen Marshawn Lynch yet. I would say Carr is better than Mariota, but Murray and Henry are better than Lynch and, Jalen Richard. Receivers, I'd probably say to the Raiders with Cooper and Michael Crabtree. They had Jared Cook, but I'm going to go with the Titans. For this next game, we have another really good one. We have the Packers and the Seahawks. And I'm more confident in the Seahawks winning than the Titans. However, I'm not super confident, which is why I'm giving them a 2. Now, I do have the Packers winning the Super Bowl, but I think the Seahawks, they're at home. They did just add Sheldon Richardson, so their defensive line is nasty. Their linebackers are nasty. Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, their secondary. We don't even need to bring up their secondary. And their offense isn't trash. They did lose Jermaine Kearse, but their offense isn't that bad. The Packers obviously have a better offense. But their defense ain't great. However, I did pick them for the Super Bowl. It's not that bad. Mike Daniels, Clinton Dix. Clay Matthews is kind of overrated, though. My number 3 game is the Colts and Rams, and I'm going to go with the Colts. Now, if Andrew Luck wasn't injured, I'd probably pick him with a 14. I'm really high on the Colts if Andrew Luck was healthy. I had to make the playoffs in the NFL predictions video. But Andrew Luck, I don't think he's going to be playing, so I'm only giving it a 3. I'm assuming Jacoby Brissett is starting. They did just trade former first-round pick Philip Dorsett for Jacoby Brissett. However, the Colts, either way, are still better than the Rams. Without Luck, the Colts suck, but they're not as bad as the Rams. My number 4 game is the Bengals and Ravens, and I'm going with the Bengals. I'm high on the Bengals this year. And I'm alone with the Ravens. The Ravens have had a lot of injuries. And I think the Bengals can make some noise, especially offensively, with the additions of Joe Mixon, who may not get a lot of touches, and John Ross, who I don't think is playing due to an injury. But I do think the Bengals are going to be really good this year. A.J. Green's going to be a monster. And I think the Bengals are better than the Ravens. The next one is the Giants and Cowboys, one of the games that I'm really excited for this week, and I'm picking the Cowboys to win. Now, if Ezekiel Elliott wasn't playing, which he is playing, I'm very confused. Is he suspended or not? I'm pretty sure he's playing week 1, but I don't know. He might still be suspended. This makes no damn sense. I am clueless, but if Zeke wasn't playing, I would pick the Giants to win this game. I don't know if Odell's playing, though, which kind of helps my case for the Cowboys. Dak, I don't think will do as good. However, I've been high on Dak for years. When he was at Mississippi State, I was a big fan of him. When he got drafted by the Cowboys, I was pretty sad. I'm going to give the Bills 6 points to beat the Jets. Now, I think the Jets are definitely the worst team in the league. I have them winning 1 game this year. this might be the game. I'm pretty sure they're home, and they're taking on an extremely crappy team in the Buffalo Bills. So, but I mean, the Bills suck. However, they're still definitely better than the Jets. So that's why I'm picking them. Pretty simple. For the next game, this is like the games like where I'm pretty confident. Like not as confident as like the high games, but more confident than like the Raiders Titans. We have the Eagles and Redskins, and I'm gonna give the Redskins 7 points. Now the Eagles, I'm high on them. I had them making the playoffs in the NFL predictions video. Now if you think about it, you could always swap them out for like the Giants or my Lions or the Panthers, any of those teams. Not the Vikings, but the Vikings suck. But I'm really high on Kirk Cousins. I think the Redskins can make some noise this year. Just they're in a very good division with the Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys. But they're home. I think they're going to win this game. My 8-point game is the Saints and Vikings, and you may be a little surprised, but I'm going to go with the Saints, an upset. And I'm picking them reasonably high towards the middle. I'm not high on the Vikings this year. I did have them like at 8-7-1, and the Saints at like 5-11 or 6-10. But yeah, Sam Bradford is no protection, no receivers, and Dalvin Cook isn't a star yet, and neither is Latavius Murray. The Vikings' offense is trash. Their defense is good, though, but this is another matchup I'm excited about because not only is this Adrian Peterson's first game back against the Vikings, but I believe in like 2009 or something, NFC Championship. This was the year the Saints won the Super Bowl. The Saints played the Vikings, and the Saints were blitzing really hard at Brett Favre, and I believe like Sean Payton, their coach, was suspended for a year. A linebacker, Jonathan Vilma, was suspended for a year. Yeah, it was not pretty. Call me biased all you want, but I'm picking my Lions with a 9 against the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals, they have an excellent defense. They lost Calais Campbell, but their pass rush is still somewhat decent with 2 underrated pass rushers in Chandler Jones and Marcus Golden. Their secondary, they still have a Honey Badger. They still have Patrick Peterson, who I think is going to lock up Golden Tate. But what about Marvin Jones? Marvin Jones is not that much worse than Golden Tate. Marvin Jones is a really good receiver. Who's he going to be covered by? Justin Bethel? Like, yeah, I think Marvin Jones is going to have a really good game. I'm going to say top 10 in receiving yards for week 1. Who knows? Maybe top 5, but the only player I'm really concerned about is David Johnson. I think he's going to run all over our defense. Our defense is not that good. And obviously David Johnson is really good. But Carson Palmer is an old man. He's going to continue to regress. And he's going to suck this year. My 10-point game is for Broncos and Chargers. I'm picking the Broncos. With Andrew Luck injured, I don't think the Colts are going to make the playoffs anymore. And the team I could see overtaking them is the Denver Broncos. Their defense is phenomenal. It won them the Super Bowl with a struggling Peyton Manning at quarterback. No offense to Peyton Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but when they won the Super Bowl, that was not pretty. It was Von Miller and his crew. But the Chargers, people say they could make the playoffs. That AFC West is too good. Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs. And I just don't think the Chargers are talented enough. I am giving the Carolina Panthers 11 points to beat the San Francisco 49ers. I have the 49ers at 5-11, which honestly is not that bad for like what people expect out of them. But the Panthers did suck last year after going 15-1. Cam Newton won MVP. They made the Super Bowl. Clearly some Super Bowl hangover, even though they lost. Does that make any sense? But I do think the Panthers are going to win. I think Cam Newton's going to have a nice year. For my top 10 quarterback list, I put him at number 10. I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. He has new weapons in Christian McCaffrey and Curtis Samuel from the draft. They lost Ted Ginn and Philly Brown, but they still have Kelvin Benjamin. They still have Jonathan Stewart, and they still have Greg Olsen. And they still have a very, very solid defense. My 12-point game is the Texans and the Jaguars. I am picking the Texans. Two, dreadful offenses. DeAndre Hopkins is really good on the Texans. So is Lamar Miller, honestly, for the Jags. They have good receivers now, Robinson, Allen Hurns, Marquise Lee, and a new young running back in Leonard Fournette. But the Jags suck. Blake Bortles, I don't think is their answer. He really impressed me in his second season, so I'm still not going to doubt him. But this is, I think, the last year of the Blake Bortles experiment if it doesn't go well. The Texans have a phenomenal defense. This is the first time a healthy Jadeveon Clowney and a healthy J.J. Watt get to pair off. That's going to be mean. They still have Whitney Merciless, but Archer McKinney, I think, is a very underrated middle linebacker. So I do think the Texans are going to win this game. My 13-point game is the Steelers over the Browns. It's a bit hard. I mean, the Browns did improve this offseason. They have an excellent offensive line now. Joe Thomas, Zietler, J.C. Treader, Batonio, etc. They added Myles Garrett, David Njoku, Deshaun Kaiser, who's going to start, Jabril Peppers. But the Browns, I don't see him winning more than 4 games. And Kaiser, he's just not ready yet. If I were him, I'd start Cody Kessler, honestly. He was in the league last year, 3rd-round pick. I would start him. Kaiser just isn't ready. And the Steelers are a very, very solid team, especially offensively. I'm pretty sure Le'Veon Bell is playing. And Le'Veon Bell, when he's on the field, because he's had some suspension and injury issues, mainly injury, but he's had some suspension issues. But when he's on the field, he's the best running back in the game. But he just needs to stay on the field for a whole season so we can actually, make that a consensus. I am picking the Patriots with 14 points over the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs were the 2 seed last year behind the Patriots, but the Patriots got better. I think the Chiefs had one of the worst off seasons in the league. I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is bad, but I think what they need to do is worry about now. They're a good team now. They don't need to worry about the future right now. There are plenty of quarterbacks next year. Darnold, Mason Rudolph, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, someone else. There are plenty of other names that I am having Josh Allen, that was the other name. But why don't you just do that? Instead, they could take an excellent defensive player like Reuben Foster, who was on the board at 27. But no, they trade up. They get Patrick Mahomes, who's not going to play this year unless Alex Smith gets injured. And I think the Chiefs are going to struggle this year. I have them at 8-8 in the playoff and the NFL predictions video. And I honestly could see them going 8-8. I'm really not high on the Chiefs. So, Patriots with a 14. My final game, I'm picking the Falcons with 15 points. So out of any of these games, I'm the most confident in the Atlanta Falcons. Probably a little more confident in the Patriots, to be honest. But the Bears suck. Jordan Howard was great last year. I'm pretty sure they're starting Glennon. It seems a bit confusing. Their best receiver, Cameron Meredith, who Madden loves, he's out for the year, so they're going to need Kevin White to step up. Their O-line isn't that bad, but it's not great. Defensively, they're just not a good team, minus pretty much Jordan Howard, maybe Pernell McPhee, maybe Danny Trevathan. Leonard Floyd's entering his 3rd season. No, his 2nd season, sorry. He had a solid rookie year. I mean, he injured Matthew Stafford, so Leonard Floyd isn't really my favorite player right now. But the Falcons, people might say the Falcons might suck this year. Look at the Panthers. They lost in the Super Bowl. They had an MVP quarterback. The Falcons, I mean, they chucked a 28-3 lead, which I don't like the Patriots, so I don't really want to talk about 28-3 leads. But I hate the Warriors, so 3-1 leads all day. But they didn't rely on their defense, and I think their defense just keeps improving. Takk McKinley, they drafted. Deion Jones, I love. Keanu Neal, you guys know I love Keanu Neal. Desmond Trufant is an excellent corner. Vic Beasley had the most sacks, I believe, last year. They added Dontari Poe as a defensive tackle. So I think, and their offense still has Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, Julio Jones, etc., etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to do this in the comments and feel more than free to do so, that's it for me. Peace out, everybody.